Can your stove boil 10 cups of water in 90 seconds, hold chocolate at exactly 120 degrees, cook bacon without ever burning it, and make the perfect 315-degree fried egg every single time? Impulse can. It can also have tea ready in seconds, hold temp so precisely you can sous vide a steak without water or plastic, and even achieve a wok-high effect on a round bottom wok. The best part is, it can do it all from a 120 volt plug. I'm Wally from Impulse Labs, and I'm excited to show you the most powerful and precise stove ever made. It has 5 times the power of gas, 3 times the power of premium induction, and single degree temperature control from 68 to 482 degrees Fahrenheit. There's really nothing else like it on the market. First, let's talk about power. Whether they're gas, radiant electric, or induction, almost every other stove on the market is limited by the amount of energy coming from the wall. Impulse is different. It's built around a 3 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery that allows us to surge up to 10 kilowatts of power to any individual burner, or 15 kilowatts simultaneously across the entire cooktop. Let's see what that looks like. A typical gas burner puts out about 7,000 BTUs. That's roughly 2 kilowatts of power. A high-end gas power burner might get you closer to 3 kilowatts. Your top-of-the-line induction with power boost mode, maybe that gets you to 3.5. With Impulse, we can drop 10 kilowatts directly into the pan. Let's see what that looks like when you're doing something like boiling water. Here I have 2 pots. They're both all-clad stainless steel pots with 10 cups of room temperature water in them. The pot on the left, I'm going to call this the standard induction with power boost pot, and it's going to get 3.5 kilowatts. Pot on the right, we're given the Impulse 10 kilowatts to. Typically on the Impulse cooktop, boiling 10 cups of water, that's about enough for a box of pasta, will take you about 90 seconds. On a traditional gas stove, that's going to be somewhere around 6 or 7 minutes. On your high-end induction, it's still going to be maybe 5 to 6 minutes. And the reason for this is that when it comes to boiling water, the amount of power you have and the time it takes to boil the water, it's not actually a linear relationship. That's because while you're heating up the water, heat is also escaping through the sides of the pan. So the slower your stove, the more energy you lose out of the side of the pan that you need to put back in when you're boiling it. We're about 50 seconds here. You can see we're almost on the edge of simmering on Impulse. The pan temp is still 150 degrees for the standard induction. We're simmering on Impulse at 1:15. We should be boiling in a moment. All right, Impulse, we have a boil at 1:23. Your power boost induction, your fancy Miele's, Wolf's, etc. I can still put my hand in that. It's just not, it's not that warm. This, on the other hand, is about to be the most vigorous boil you've ever seen. But it's not just the power of the boil with Impulse, it's also the insane control you have over it. I lift up the knob, instantly stops boiling. Turn it on, put it back, roaring boil again. Dial it down, instantly tapers off. You can almost control it like you would a stereo. And this isn't just a party trick. This is amazing when it comes to making soups or stews or simmering sauces. Anything where you want to dial in a very specific simmer and not worry about your pan boiling over, Impulse gives you a degree of fidelity there that is unmatched by any other stove on the market. All right, it looks like we got a little bit of a simmer here at about 4 minutes. Got a boil here at 4:30. So your high-end induction, 4 minutes and 30 seconds, about 3 times longer than the Impulse cooktop. Remember, that 3.5 kilowatts of power, that's power boost on those other fancy induction stoves. That's way more power than you're gonna get from any gas stove. And a normal induction hob is gonna put out more like 2 kilowatts. Aside from boiling water fast and controlling it with extreme precision, what is the Impulse power good for? Well, the first thing I got rid of when I got my Impulse cooktop at home was our countertop kettle. With Impulse, I can heat a stovetop kettle in about 20 seconds. Why would I use that valuable counter space and waste 3 minutes for a countertop kettle? The second thing I got rid of was actually my Instapot. I use it mostly for soups and stews, but why would I wait 20 minutes to get the Instapot up to temperature when making a soup? With Impulse, I can load those same ingredients into a Dutch oven, be boiling in 2 minutes, and simmer it for 10. I'm done in half the time of the pressure cooker. It allows me to simplify my kitchen and improve my cooking performance and get dinner done faster. Power gets you to temperature fast, but precision is what really makes you a better cook. Every Impulse burner has a proprietary active temperature sensor that reads the surface of your pan in real time. You set a target temperature and Impulse holds it to the degree. What does that mean in practice? Well, it means you'll never burn anything again, unless you want to. Let's see how that looks with something everybody knows: fried eggs. An egg you cook at 300 degrees Fahrenheit will have light browning on the bottom. If you cook it at 315, the edges will just start to turn up and you'll have patches of crispiness on the bottom. At 330, the whole bottom will be crispy. Now, this isn't relevant information on any other stove because you can't control the temperature to within 15 degrees on any other stove. But on Impulse, you can. And you can find the perfect temperature for how you like all your favorite dishes and repeat it every single time. I like my eggs at 315 with that crispy edge. So let's go with that. I set the burner here to 315. I'm gonna add a little butter, and you'll notice that the pan gets to the target temperature, stabilizes, and then holds it. I'm gonna add an egg. And we're gonna watch what happens. The edges are gonna turn up, the bottom is gonna have patchy crispiness, just as I said it would. And it's not because I'm a magically good cook. On a gas stove, you're guessing, you're hovering, you're adjusting. Here, you set it and it's done. And you get the same results every single time. You can walk away and your food is not gonna burn. Now think about all the things you've burned in the kitchen before: butter, garlic, maybe cream sauces, that bacon, the bottom of the soup you just walked away from a few minutes. In temperature mode on Impulse, that doesn't happen anymore. The cooktop holds the target temperature. If the pan starts getting too hot, it backs off the power. And if it cools down, or you add another egg, it shoots up and adds more power. Automatic. Once you start cooking in temperature mode, you'll realize just how much it changes. Your first pancake is perfect. Not the sacrificial one that you threw away while the pan heats up, the actual first one, because the pan is already exactly at the right temperature before the batter hits it. You can repeat recipes with extreme precision. Same temperature, same time, same results every single time. It takes the guesswork out of cooking. You can temper chocolate without a double boiler. You can make crispy bacon without any smoke. You can even dry sous vide a steak without water and without the plastic. Just set the pan to your target temperature, 140 in this case, and let the steak come up to temp slowly and then sear it at the end. You can even deep fry in olive oil by setting the temp above the fry point and below the smoke point. Temperature mode can seem a little scary at first. People tell me they don't know what the right temp is, and I get it. We put common cooking techniques on the temperature bar to help you find the right temp for sauteing, frying, and melting. And we also include a quick start guide in the box with the recommended temperatures for lots of common foods. But I promise it's not as scary as it sounds, and once you cook in temperature mode, you will never want to go back to normal, low, medium, and high.
Hi, I'm Jack at Impulse. We get a lot of questions about what pans work with Impulse. The short answer is that if it's induction compatible, it should work. You can use one of the knobs on your cooktop to check the magnetic connection on the bottom of your pan. If there's a strong connection, you're in good shape. Stainless steel, cast iron, carbon steel, and induction compatible non-stick will all work on your Impulse. But if you're cooking in temp mode, some pan designs are going to be more accurate and responsive than others. Temp mode works best with pans that have high thermal conductivity and flat, smooth bottoms where the sensor can make good contact. You'll get the best results on a 3-ply stainless steel like Made In, All Clad, and even Duckstop, which you can grab on Amazon for around $30. That's this pan. Because of low thermal conductivity, cast iron, and to a lesser extent, carbon steel are going to be much slower to respond to temperature changes and won't be as responsive in temp mode. You may find that using power mode with these pans, the way you would on a traditional stove, works best. The same goes for enameled cast iron like Le Creuset and Staub. They're great for braises, soups, and anything low and slow. Just avoid power boost on enameled pans so you don't damage the finish. A quick note on disc bottom or bonded bottom pans. That's a separate piece of metal bonded to the underside of the pan. They'll still work, but the bonding interferes with temperature sensing, so they'll be less accurate in temp mode. You'll see the same kind of reduced accuracy with heavy pattern or multi-metal hybrid pans like this one. One thing to skip entirely is granite ware. That's true on any induction cooktop, not just Impulse. And of course, pure aluminum, copper, and silver pans aren't magnetic, so they won't work at all. When in doubt, do the magnet test. A quick note on pan size. Each Impulse burner has a 9-inch induction coil, which is on the larger end for induction. Smaller pans work fine. The cooktop detects the pan and adjusts. Larger pans work as well, We regularly use 12-inch all-clad pans in the office, and they work great. One last thing people ask about is pan warping. Thin, low-quality pans can warp on any high-power heat source, including gas. The stove is designed to actively manage power output if a pan is heating too fast. That said, if you're preheating a dry pan, it's probably best to use temp mode or stay in the power range a traditional stove can deliver, about 0 to 2.5 kilowatts. Don't try to drop 10 kilowatts into a dry pan. For a full breakdown, check out our pan guide in the description below.
I'm Schwan, the product manager here at Impulse Labs, and I'm going to walk you through how to control the Impulse Cooktop. The Impulse Cooktop has a large display in the center for easy visibility. This is not a touchscreen. You control it with removable magnetic knobs. The knobs have two gestures. You can turn it like a dial, or you can press to click. They're designed to look and feel like a stereo knob. You navigate menus and settings by scrolling with the dial and clicking to confirm your selection. Cooking on the Impulse is a little different than other stoves because there are two modes. There's power and temperature. One click puts you in power mode. This is the default. This is like what you're used to on other stoves when you control the amount of power going to the burner. There's low, medium, high. Same thing on gas or power levels on induction. One thing to note on other induction stoves, they give you discrete levels of power. It might be 1 through 9 or 1 through 20, and they tend to struggle with low power levels, often toggling on and off every second to achieve a lower power output. Impulse is different. You have continuous control from 50 to 10,000 watts. There's no clicking, no toggling, just continuous control so you can precisely dial in the perfect power level that you need. You can see your set power level on the blue bar on the right. One thing to note is that this scale is not linear. We devote about 80% of it to the power levels where most cooking occurs, roughly 0 to 3 kilowatts, or the equivalent of low to high that's similar to other stoves. The remaining 20% is for power levels that only Impulse can achieve, which is used when you boil liquids. And power boost. You want to press the knob again, and then you go into temperature mode. Think of temperature mode like cruise control in a car. You set your target temperature, and the stove automatically adjusts the power level up and down to achieve that temperature. Lastly, there's a settings menu. If you press and hold the knob, the gear icon pops up, and on release, you get into settings. Here, there's a lot of information, such as in this example, looks like we have a software update. You can reconfigure your Wi-Fi, select your cooking unit preferences between Fahrenheit or Celsius, look up your power and battery information, set your preferred time for scheduled charging, as well as find additional information and resources. The Impulse is a sophisticated cooktop, but our goal was to design it with intuitive physical controls and give you exactly the information you need when you need it. Nothing more, nothing less.
I'm Sam D'Amico, founder and CEO of Impulse Labs. I wanted to talk with you about the hardware and engineering you don't see under the counter. Most other induction stoves buy their internal components from the same handful of suppliers. The faceplate might be different, but the underlying architecture and limitations are often all the same. The same discrete power levels, the same laggy response, and the same induction buzz. At Impulse, we did things differently. We realized that if you want to deliver the highest performance product in the market, you need to control the entire technology stack yourself, just like Apple does for phones and Tesla does for cars. So that's what we did. We designed and certified all of our own internal components, the battery pack, the induction coils, the power control systems, everything. It took about 4 years of engineering to pull it off. Provided developing and controlling our own technology stack, we've been able to build a stove that's dramatically more responsive and performant than anything else in the market. Let's talk a bit more about the heart of the system itself, the battery. The Impulse Cooktop is designed around a 3 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery. This is a different chemistry than the batteries you're used to in your phone or laptop. It has a much longer life expectancy, it's safer, and it also likes to be charged up to 100%, not like 80%. We designed and engineered this custom LFP battery pack to maintain 80% of its rated capacity after 10 years of heavy use, which we define as 3 meals per day. And we back this up with a 10-year warranty. The Impulse Cooktop isn't a smart home device. It doesn't require an app to set up, and it doesn't require an internet connection to use. It does have a Wi-Fi connection for over-the-air updates. You'll download the latest software during initial setup, and the stove will check for periodic updates after that. There's no subscription required, and there never will be. So what kind of updates are we talking about? As of April 2026, we've released 10 updates to the Impulse Cooktop. These have included everything from minor tweaks to temperature mode, to scheduled charging and energy management features. And we've got a lot more in progress. Coming soon, per burner timers, AI-powered step-by-step recipes, and faster preheating and temperature. We even packed the Impulse Cooktop full of hardware that we aren't even using yet, like speakers, Bluetooth, and Matter smart home connectivity, to ensure your cooktop will be able to gain functionality and improve performance over time.
The Impulse Cooktop has two different warranties. The first is the warranty on the battery. The battery comes with a 10-year warranty. If it falls below 70% of its rated capacity within 10 years, we're gonna replace it for free. It's designed to maintain at least 80% of its rated capacity under heavy cooking, 3 meals a day, over 10 years. Second warranty is on the cooktop itself. Think of it as powertrain and everything else, like on a car. The cooktop has a 3-year retrieve and replace warranty. So if something goes wrong that can't be fixed via software, we ship you a new cooktop and arrange for someone to pick up your old one, bring it back to the lab here in San Francisco, and figure out what went wrong with it. Our goal is to make sure you are back up and cooking as fast as possible. I get a lot of questions about how long can I run the cooktop with all 4 burners at high? And the thing to remember is that 10 kilowatts is like 5 times what high is on a gas stove. If you're running your gas stove with all burners at high, that would be like running an Impulse with all burners at 20%. Let's get into the math behind this. It takes a lot of energy to bring water to a boil. On a normal stove, that might mean putting it on high for, 7 to 15 minutes. On Impulse, it's gonna look a little different. High is 5 times higher than it is on gas, 3 times higher than other induction. So you're putting 10 kilowatts in for maybe 30 to 300 seconds, depending on how much volume of water you're trying to bring to a boil. But once it's boiling, you're dialing that knob back down to 1 kilowatt or 800 watts to maintain either a vigorous boil or a gentle simmer. Either way, you're charging 1.5 kilowatts off the wired connection, so you're using less energy than is going into the stove, if the stove is actively charging. Same thing goes when you're doing regular surface cooking. It takes 2 kilowatts for maybe 45 to 90 seconds to preheat the pan. And after that, the power level to maintain the temperature drops from 300 kilowatts to hold something at the equivalent of medium, around 350 degrees. So what does that mean? It means if I am running all 4 burners at medium, that's 600, 1200 watts total. That's actually less energy than I am drawing from the plug, even on a regular 120 volt outlet, assuming you're using the default charge settings on Impulse. So that means I could be holding all 4 burners at medium and gain state of charge if the cooktop is plugged in and currently charging. I find this all the time in my day-to-day use. If I'm making, you can make bacon and eggs and gain state of charge throughout the course of cooking breakfast. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Okay, like what is the edge case? So on 120, you're charging at about 1.5 kilowatts. On 240, you're charging at about 2 kilowatts. If you were to run all 4 burners at the max settable temperature, 482 degrees Fahrenheit, the total draw to maintain that temp is about 1.73 kilowatts. So what that means is I could turn on all 4 burners, set them to the max temperature in temp mode, and hold it like that for 8 to 9 hours on a 120 volt connection, or indefinitely on a 240 volt connection. So you don't have to worry about Thanksgiving. You don't have to worry about edge cases. The Impulse Cooktop, assuming you're not running a home distillery where you're boiling huge vats of water simultaneously on all 4 burners all day long, you're gonna be good to go. The Impulse Cooktop is gonna get you through all your home cooking needs. We get a lot of questions about when Impulse is gonna make different form factors. And the good news is we can start to answer some of those questions. We have the 30-inch cooktop out right now. That's been shipping for over a year. The 36-inch cooktop started shipping May 2026. We just announced last week a partnership with BS Service Group out of Italy, and they are going to be manufacturing, first for the European market, a flat top design that includes a downdraft vent. Some version of that we hope to bring to the United States at a date TBD. 2-burner version. There's a lot of talk, a lot of interest in a 2-burner version. We hope to have some updates about potential timelines on that later this year. Stay tuned. I know it's something a lot of people want. What about a range? Well, we have announced a partnership with Thor Kitchen. They're working on a range. Some of our other partners are also interested in developing range products using Impulse Core technology. And there's a lot of interest here at Impulse in developing a specialized range product or wall oven product that can be installed underneath the Impulse. If you need to do a range conversion in the near future, we're gonna have a solution for you in the next couple months. We're gonna be manufacturing a range adapter kit that can take an Impulse cooktop in the top and some wall ovens from our partners below and slide in to an existing range with a nice polished professional design appearance. We designed Impulse Core, which is all of our individually certified modules that make the Impulse cooktop possible, with the goal of expanding the number of different SKUs and form factors we can offer, either directly or through our partners, as fast as possible. If you've been waiting for that specific size, stay tuned. We're gonna have more announcements coming soon. We designed and built the Impulse cooktop, and we put the hardware in the device to support everything on our engineering and product wish list and roadmap. So when you buy the cooktop right now, for the last year, the Impulse cooktop we have been shipping has been packed full of a lot of hardware that we are not actually even using yet because we haven't fully finished the software features to support it. So this was built to be future-proofed. This was built to make sure that no one was sitting there wishing they'd waited a few months or a year to buy the cooktop in the future, as opposed to taking the plunge and transforming their cooking experience right now. A couple things I'll mention that are in the cooktop that have just started appearing in the software and functionality. There's a speaker in here. We haven't used it for the last year. We've just started using it for alerts, and you're gonna see more of that for timers coming soon. There's Bluetooth connectivity in here. We do not currently use it, but if you follow Sam on Twitter, you may have seen some of the features that we're working on, such as hood integrations or temperature probe integrations that will be coming in the future. Impulse Labs is a startup, and we are a startup that is building the most powerful and precise stove that's ever been made. It's unlike anything else on the market, and other major players in the industry see that and recognize it too. You can, of course, buy an Impulse Labs cooktop from impulselabs.com, and we hope you'll do that. But you can also buy this technology in more and more places, backed by some of the biggest brands in home appliances. You can go to a Zephyr dealer right now and buy the Zephyr HyperCore powered by Impulse. Exact same stove you see here, manufactured and sold through traditional appliance shops. Later this year, you're going to be able to buy 4 ranges powered by Impulse with our technology stack integrated into it. Also later this year, if you're in the European market, you're going to be able to buy the Eximius cooktop manufactured by BS Service Group, but powered by Impulse. Same temperature sensors, same power performance, same great user experience. Are we a startup? Yes, but we make a product people absolutely love and that other major industry partners are investing in and building their own product lines around. When we set out to build the Impulse cooktop, our philosophy was no compromises. We wanted to build the best stove ever made, period. Something that people wanted to buy, not because their city banned gas, but because the Impulse was simply better in every way that mattered. So that's what we did. We built a stove with 5 times the power of gas, 3 times the power of premium induction, and single-degree temperature control that's more responsive than anything else on the market. Oh, and you don't need to upgrade your electrical panel. We think it's pretty special, and we hope you do too. If you'd like to learn more, visit the website or give us a call. Humans like myself are here to talk to you. And if you're in San Francisco, you can sign up for an in-person demo at our office. Thanks for watching.